Motivation is a liar. It shows up loud when life feels easy, then disappears the second things get hard. It makes you feel powerful for a moment, then leaves you alone when it is time to do the work. And if you have ever stared at your goals with zero energy, zero excitement, and zero desire to move, then you already know the truth. Success is not built on motivation. It is built on discipline. That is the difference between people who keep going and people who keep restarting. One depends on feelings. The other depends on a decision. And that decision changes everything. Because the real battle is not against laziness. It is against inconsistency. It is against the quiet habit of giving your best effort only when you feel like it. That habit destroys more dreams than failure ever could. So if you have been waiting to feel ready, this message is for you. If you have been starting and stopping, this message is for you. If you are tired of promising yourself change and then watching yourself fall back into the same patterns, stay with me. Because the shift you need is simpler than you think, but harder than you want. Here is the hidden problem most people never face honestly. They think discipline is about intensity. It is not. It is about reliability. You do not need to be perfect. You need to be dependable. You do not need to win the day in a dramatic way. You need to keep showing up. That is where most people get trapped. They build their goals around mood. If they are inspired, they work. If they are tired, they quit. If they are discouraged, they delay. And slowly, without realizing it, they train themselves to obey emotion instead of intention. And emotion is unstable. One day you feel unstoppable. The next day, everything feels heavy. If your life is controlled by whatever you feel in the moment, you will always be a passenger in your own future. That is why discipline wins when motivation disappears. Discipline does not ask, "Do I feel like it?" Discipline asks, "What needs to be done?" That single question can rebuild your life. Now here is the mindset shift that changes the game. Stop trying to become a person who is always motivated and start becoming a person who always returns. Returns to the workout. Returns to the plan. Returns to the book. Returns to the task. Returns to the routine. Because real strength is not never falling off. Real strength is coming back faster every time. This is where consistency becomes powerful, not because every day is amazing, but because repeated action compounds. Small efforts done daily become identity, and identity is stronger than mood. Think about that. You are not just building habits, you are building proof. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you prove you can be trusted. Every time you finish what you started, you strengthen self-respect. Every time you do the work before you feel ready, you become harder to break. And that is the beginning of mental toughness. But let's get practical because discipline is not just an idea. It is a system. First, make your goals smaller than your excuses. If a task feels too big, your mind will resist it. But if you shrink the first step, momentum becomes possible. Do not say, "I have to change my whole life today." Say, "I will start for 10 minutes." 10 minutes can break resistance. 10 minutes can start the chain. Second, remove decisions where you can. Discipline gets easier when your environment works for you. Lay out the clothes. Set up the workspace. Keep the phone away. Make the right choice the easy choice. Most people do not fail because they are weak. They fail because they are surrounded by friction. Third, protect your energy like it matters because it does. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every message needs a reply. Not every distraction deserves your time. If your focus is leaking all day, your discipline will feel impossible at night. Fourth, expect resistance. This is important. The moment you decide to grow, your old habits will fight back. You will feel bored. You will feel tired. You will feel the pull to escape. That does not mean the plan is failing. It means the plan is working. A lot of people quit right before progress starts to show. They mistake resistance for a sign to stop. It is actually a sign to stay. And here is one of the most important lessons. Your future is usually shaped in the moments nobody sees. The early morning when you get up anyway. The evening when you choose one more rep. The afternoon when you finish the task instead of escaping it. The quiet moments when nobody is clapping, nobody is watching, and you still do the right thing. That is where confidence is born. Not from praise, not from perfection, from proof. Proof that you can act when it is inconvenient. Proof that you can stay focused when it is boring. Proof that you can keep moving when the feeling is gone. And now we come to the breakthrough. The strongest people are not the ones who never lose motivation. They are the ones who no longer need it. That is freedom. When your habits are strong, your life stops depending on your mood. When your standards are clear, your actions become steady. When your routine is built correctly, you do not have to negotiate with yourself every day. You just move. And once you start moving, momentum begins to do what motivation never could. It carries you through the rough days. It softens the weight of the hard days. It gives you enough progress to keep going. So do not wait to feel inspired. Build a system that works when inspiration is gone. Wake up and keep the promise. Start small. Stay consistent. Protect your focus. Return quickly when you slip. That is how discipline turns into strength. That is how strength turns into confidence. That is how confidence turns into results. Not overnight. Not magically, but steadily. And if you needed a sign to get serious, this is it. You do not need more hype. You need more follow-through. You do not need a perfect mood. You need a stronger decision. So today, choose one thing you will do even if you do not feel like it. One workout, one page, one focused hour, one difficult task. Then do it again tomorrow. Because the version of you that you are trying to become is not built by motivation. He or she is built by discipline. And discipline always wins when motivation disappears.